Good evening. Thank you for choosing NYNJPA weather as your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm meteorologist Stephen DiMartino. The main story for today is high pressure. The center of this high pressure system is actually located over the Hudson Bay. This high pressure is so expansive it covers central Canada down through the Mid-Atlantic. So it's a very impressive high pressure system. Now, for the most part, this high pressure system is producing cool Canadian air. Now, the reason why we're having cloud cover in the afternoons is because the upper levels are so cold that when air rises in the afternoon because of warming, any moisture in the atmosphere condenses and forms clouds, and thus you get the cloud cover. But for the most part, no rainfall can be expected from these clouds. They're just pretty much fair weather clouds trying to squeeze out whatever moisture is left in the atmosphere. Now, this high pressure is going to remain controlled through Saturday, but then, well, that area of low pressure that's over Kansas is basically what's left of Tropical Storm Hermine. And the cold front that is moving through the plains, that's going to pick up all that moisture left over the southeast and drive it towards the mid-Atlantic. Let's take a look at the forecast. Now, as I said, for today into tomorrow morning and through much of the afternoon tomorrow, high pressure will be in control. Winds will remain light and variable, but as the high pressure system starts to give way, winds will start to veer to the southeast. For the most part, though, a very, very nice day can be expected with temperatures in the lower 70s, few locations not even breaking 70, remaining in the 60s. So clearly we're have a far different air mass than what we had 30 days ago, and this air mass is actually producing below normal temperatures. On Sunday afternoon, the cold front will move through the northern Atlantic. Now, it's very interesting to point this out. The GFS model guidance, that's what we have up here, is producing some moderate rainfall, especially over the southeast coast and southern mid-Atlantic. I believe that's mostly thunderstorms because it is a more warmer and unstable air mass than what we have over us right now, therefore better potential for thunderstorms. But notice the low pressure that's over Canada. That means that that low pressure is very strong, and that means basically that is the primary area of low pressure. Why is that important? Let's take a look at 500 millibars. This is the 500 millibar map, and I use this to depict where the most likely areas for lifting. Now, the lifting is created by what we call vorticity advection. Those yellow and brown slashes and areas basically are upper level disturbances that produce weather, rainfall. Now, notice over the northeast and over the northern mid-Atlantic, there really isn't much in the way of concentration of disturbances or ways to lift the atmosphere to produce rainfall. In fact, the atmosphere is rather unimpressive when it comes to lifting. As a result, I think we're only going to see a few scattered showers out of this cold front and not anything that's very impressive. Some locations will get a heavy brief downpour, but that's really about it. The majority of the precipitation is going to be focused over Canada, where the best lifting is and where that big upper low is, and over the southeast via thunderstorms. But for the most part, we're not really expecting much in the way of rainfall. By Monday, the cold front moves out, high pressure builds in, and once again, we're in a rather cool Canadian air mass for this time of year. And this pattern continues into Tuesday. In fact, look how powerful this high pressure system is sitting over the Great Lakes. It remains in control throughout the entire region. Notice though we have some areas of kinks in the pressure field. Those are weak cold fronts that will enhance the polar air mass in place, keeping a threat of an isolated shower or two in the afternoons and especially on Wednesday morning. But for the most part, dry conditions can be expected with temperatures averaging generally below normal in the anywhere from the upper 60s to the lower 70s. In fact, on Wednesday, it'll be so cool that most locations will be in the upper 60s. Normally, we should be in the upper 70s, so we're clearly about 10 degrees below normal for this time of year, which is a far different situation than what we were in the summer. Before we wrap this up, I just want to point out Tropical Storm Igor. Igor is rapidly developing. I expect it to become a major hurricane by, well, I'd say by Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, I think Igor is going to remain over the Atlantic, and the reason why is because we're in what's called a negative NAO pattern. That basically means we have a rather impressive trough sitting over the northeast. So that should keep us safe from any tropical systems. Of course, we'll keep an eye on it. Timing is everything with these tropical systems. But the important thing with Igor is this. When Igor turns into the North Atlantic, it's going to re-enhance the negative NAO pattern. What does that mean for the Northeast and the Northern Mid-Atlantic? A continuation of a cool pattern with generally dry conditions and temperatures averaging anywhere 5 to 10 degrees below normal. How long that lasts? Well, it depends how long the negative NAO stays negative. So we're going to keep an eye on that and see exactly how it plays out for the rest of September. But it is not looking like anything like what we saw in the summer. So that's pretty much the evening update for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. Thank you for trusting in NYNJPA Weather as your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent evening.